Okay, so today is January 4th, 2021. Happy New Year.
Oh, I keep putting 20 down
I
instead of
know,
21.
right? So briefly, this new year is a number
And it's
five.
120. Okay, 121.
Oh, nice. So it's a five in numerology year, and it's the year of the ox, starting February 19th is a Chinese New Year. And the year of the ox is about self-sustainability and perseverance and hard work. Number 4 year was about structure and the heart. The 5th year corresponds to the throat chakra, and the 5th year is about transmutation. And if you think about the number 5, it's a very feminine. It's the 5-pointed star. It incorporates spirit, the element ether. So it's going to be a very, it's, on some levels, it's going to be even more intense. So the energies are asking us to be really in touch with perseverance, meaning how do you persevere? And perseverance in many aspects is your finances. How is your finances able to persevere? How is your mental health able to persevere? How is your emotional health? Your physical health? That's pretty.
Well, that's my phone. I hope it's not to health people. Sorry, I just dumped it.
You're good. So yeah, it's all about perseverance and how do we keep going and picking ourselves up. And like the ox, it's very stable, grounded. It just keeps going. It takes one step after the other, no matter how much weight it's carrying. No matter what's in its path, it just keeps going on a very stable. It's kind of like the energy of Taurus. It's just very stable, grounded. It's able to carry a lot. It's able to be of service in grounded, practical ways. So the energy this year is it's going to be about strength, inner strength and perseverance and the ability to keep going. But also it's important to express ourselves with that 5th chakra. Okay, so planetary aspects is what we're going to go over today. And planetary aspects, I consider how the planets communicate with themselves. So in a chart, and I'll share the screen in a moment, there's something called major aspects and minor aspects. There's many different aspects which works with the angles and the degrees. So as we know, there's 360 degrees in a zodiac wheel. So its focus is degrees and how the planets communicate with one another. So I'm going to share the screen and we're going to focus on your chart. All right, can you see that okay?
I can.
All right, so this is your natal chart. And the aspects names all right here. Conjunction, opposition, trine. Can you see that?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the major aspects are always in the front: conjunction, opposition, trine, square. Those are like the ones that astrologers always use. It's the most effective, it's the easiest thing to look at. They're the most reliable. And then after quincunx, we get to like quintile, biquintile, decile, all these random aspects. They're not random, but they're more intricate. So I moved the screen so you could see the angle. So there's the name, it's the aspect symbol, which conjunction looks like an orange with a straw coming out of it.
Okay.
And then it's got the angle next to it, which is 0 degrees. So I'm going to go through each aspect, and I'm actually typing up a sheet right now so then I can send it to you when I'm done. That way you have a reference sheet when you're looking at your own chart or other people's charts. Because these are the part of astrology that's you have to memorize. You have to know the angles. You have to know how the planets communicate with each other. And I'll give you examples from your own chart.
So up until which point are you saying are the major and then the minor? Where does the minor start?
The minor starts when we get to 30 degrees right here, which is the semi-sextile.
Okay. So semi-square and semi-quisquare both considered.
Yeah. So the major ones are conjunction, opposition, trine, square, sextile, semi-square, semi-sextile, quincunx.
Oh, semi-sextile too. So after quincunx.
Yep. Then we get into the minor ones that we don't use as often, but they're more detailed. And you'll see as we move on why that is, because we get into past life gifts and talents. So they get really specific with gifts, and that's why I love aspects. Is everything's in there. It's conjunction is how the planets work in harmony. Trines are like an easy flow of energy, so it's like a gift and talent there with 3 planets. We got like novile, binovile. Those are like, I mean, they're really fun to get into because when you look at your own chart and you go through every aspect in your chart, which I'll remind you is down here, it's this grid thing down here. These are all the aspects on how the planets are communicating to each other. So you can literally go through each and every one of them and write them down to get really specific with what challenges you're going to work through in this life, what gifts and talents you embody, what easy flow of harmony that you naturally carry between planets. So a lot of your personality comes through in the aspects. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. So again, back to conjunction. Conjunction is a 0 degree angle, so they're literally touching. So in major aspects, it's either 0 degrees, it's 0 through 6 degrees is allowed. Meaning when you're looking at how tight the planets are, they're only allowed 6 degrees apart in order to be considered a conjunction. So as a reference, let's see if you have any.
We just had the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction, correct?
Exactly. Yep. And they're like an exact conjunction. I think like
but they aren't actually touching. They're just crossing paths directly because they can't touch.
No, they're crossing paths. So it's like a.
But they don't cross that often because they're, I mean.
No, we haven't had the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction in 800 years.
Wow.
So it's a huge planetary alignment that's helping us herald in this age of Aquarius.
That much I've gotten.
Because again, all the planets are just angles. They're emanating their rays at a certain angle. And so depending on what that angle is, we're affected by the planetary energies in a certain way. So the Jupiter-Saturn conjunction is indicative of helping shift consciousness. because Saturn's energy is about structure and Jupiter is about philosophy and expansion and higher knowledge. So we're helping, they're helping to build a different paradigm. We're actively working on building a brand new structure that's never been made ever. It's kind of a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So
800 years.
800 years.
So we're looking for that little symbol, and that'll show conjunctions within my chart.
Yes.
How do you see them? Oh,
So for instance, because they all have codes, so it's kind of confusing. But there's
so I see. Oh,
yes here.
I don't see any. Oh, I see them. Yeah. Okay.
They're like
So they're black.
there's numbers in the background, so it makes it a little bit confusing.
Yeah, to see it. Okay.
But,
what are those numbers?
It's the codes to put in if you're creating this chart. I want to get rid of that. I haven't figured that out yet.
Okay.
So you have, right here you have.
Oh, there's another one too.
Yeah, so you have the Sun conjunct Vulcan, which Vulcan is the blacksmith of the zodiac. You have Vulcan conjunct Mercury.
Ah, okay.
You have Venus conjunct Mars.
Ooh.
So some of these we can read. Some of these definitions don't really exist, and you have to do your own interpretation.
Mm-hmm.
You got Uranus conjunct Mercury. That's pretty powerful. See that?
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you right there that Uranus rules genius and forward thinking, and it's the ruler of the age of Aquarius, because Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. So Uranus in a chart is the Tower card. It's drastic change. It's immediate change. It's called the Awakener in your chart. So when you have that planet of awakening and genius and electricity and individuality conjunct Mercury, Mercury is how you think and communicate, and it's your ruling planet. Those two planets are working together. So it makes your communications even more potent.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, you literally could awaken people through your communications.
That's what I hope to do.
So that says it right.
Yeah.
That says a lot right there about how, you know, the power of your words and your ability to communicate. So that's, you know, this is an example of why aspects are really fun to research. It solidifies things you already know about yourself, but sometimes it brings up challenges and things that you may not be conscious of. So let's go back to the chart here, and I'm going to read a simple definition for each one of these. So conjunction, again, is 0 degrees to 6 degrees is allowed. Planets in conjunction are working together and intensify each other. It's positive when the planets are in harmony. You can have two planets that hate each other energetically, they're completely different. Like, for example, Uranus and Mercury love each other because Mercury and Uranus are very similar. They both work with information, and Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury. So they're very similar planets. So they love each other. But you got Jupiter and Saturn, they're like completely different energies. Saturn is about structure and limitation and solidification. And Jupiter is about expansion and knowledge and freedom. So those two planets aren't really, they don't love each other, but now they're forced to work with each other. Make sense?
Yes.
All right, so Now we go to the opposition. It looks like a pair of sunglasses on an angle right here.
Mm-hmm.
It's a 180-degree angle. So we're working with 360 degrees, right? Go all the way around the zodiac. So when you have a planet here and a planet here, completely polar opposite from each other, that's an opposition.
Is that kind of like you have the opposites of like Virgo and Pisces?
Exactly. Yeah,
Okay.
it's exact like that. They work on the same axis, but they're completely polar different energies. So the definition, the simple definition of an opposition is the planets are in polarity. They create deep tension and can lead to frustration when not integrated. So when two planets are in opposition to each other in your chart, it creates inner frustration because there's something that needs to be integrated within yourself. And so how it manifests in the external world is you manifest a person who mirrors back a polarity you haven't integrated within yourself. And so that relationship creates tension because there's two polarized energies that haven't been integrated within yourself. So this manifests most of the time in relationships, and especially romantic partnerships, is when one person really is stuck in their ways and the other person's really stuck in their ways, and they're not open to seeing the other person's perspective, or they're just really set in their ways, and it creates frustration and deep tension between two people. So the purpose of that is to learn integration within yourself by letting go of control and learning the other person's perspective. And you can see this in relationship charts, is when one person's Mercury is completely opposite the other person's Mercury. Like if your Mercury is in Virgo and their Mercury is in Pisces, like that's complete polarized way of thinking. Or someone's Venus, like for example, you and your ex-partner's chart was literally in opposition. You have a Venus Leo, he has Venus Aquarius. That's complete opposition of the way of loving. So you guys came together to learn the other's perspective and to meet each other halfway in terms of love and finances.
Yeah.
So
but I did learn a lot. I did.
Yep. And he did from you.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay, so let's look at an opposition planet as a reference point.
There's a lot of oppositions. They're in red. I can see the color.
Yep. So, for example, let's look at, you have Saturn opposing your Mercury. So that could be an energy
what is it?
Saturn opposing Mercury.
Oh, Saturn and Mercury?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Mercury and Saturn are in opposition. So your Mercury wants to do this. It wants to communicate. It wants to get all the information out all the time. It wants to learn all the time. And then Saturn goes, no, you need to focus in one way, or you need to really take your time in what you're learning. And so those two are in opposition of each other. Actually, I would like to read that actually and see what this author has to say about that.
Mercury opposition Saturn.
Yeah.
Would you say Mercury first, or would you say Saturn is in opposition to Mercury? Or it doesn't matter?
Doesn't matter.
Okay. I didn't know if there was a protocol for stating one planet before the other or something.
No, that's a good question, though.
You don't go alphabetical or by size.
And this is just someone's definition. It's not always like, you know, it's always up for interpretation. It says Mercury opposition to Saturn is lack of lovingness and understanding that needs redeeming. Separation or difficulties through relatives if aspects is connected with third or fourth house. Nope. Education may be interrupted by conditions beyond the person's control, but it will be nullified by knowledge gained from reading and from life. Person is intelligent and can overcome much that is limiting and depressing in life. Nice. Have to be suspicious and distrusting if Jupiter isn't angular or well aspected. Unhappy in early life if this aspect is tied with the first or third house. Nope. May have to be responsible for one or both parents in later years.
Yeah, that's spot on. I'm in alignment with my chart. Because I don't think that's part of everybody's journey.
Nope. I felt guided to read that one. There you go.
There you go. Nice affirmation. That's
Saturn
good.
represents the parents, especially the father, also. So the moon in the chart represents the mother, but Saturn is the father or parents. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now we move on to the trine, which is 120-degree easy flow harmony. Trines are good. Everyone likes trines. A trine is easy flow between planets seamlessly. Brings luck, talent, and opportunities.
That's interesting because I remember when I had my first chart done, this astrologist used to mark red and green, and she would say, this is your luck and this is your challenges. But anyway, I wonder if that had to do with the trines.
Yep.
Probably. And does this mean there's 3 planets involved or just 2?
3.
There are 3. I was like, okay,
Yep.
you have to have 3, right?
Yep, 3 points.
So all 3 of them have to be.
They have to be either an exact angle up to 6 degrees apart, but they're pretty close, all 3 of them.
And this was all at the moment of your birth, correct?
Yes.
Okay, because this doesn't change. This is.
Well, you can have transiting trine planets, but we're reading your natal chart, which is more beneficial because these are like your inherited gifts and talents.
Right.
So
okay. So if we were to do a daily, okay, got it.
So a square in a chart would be your challenges, and then the trine would be your luck. So that was what the astrologer was referring to. Squares are probably the most important thing to study because you want to know your challenges. You want to know what your soul is trying to work through in this life. Of course, people don't like squares. Oh man, I have a bunch of squares. Some people have tons of squares, but they chose a lifetime of really hard working through challenges and integrating obstacles.
That's how you grow.
Yep. So there's something called a grand trine when you have exact degree between 3 planets. So if you have like 25 degree, 25 degree, 25 degree, that's like a grand trine. So a grand trine is an exact degree between the 3 planets. All right, let's look at some trines you have.
I see lots of squares.
So this little green symbol with an X on it is Earth.
Oh.
You have Neptune trine the Earth. So Neptune, the Earth. Let's see.
Is that Neptune?
Yeah, so Neptune and the Earth. That's how you read it on the chart. There's always 3 planets that it works with, but on this graph, it works between the 2 planets.
So you don't know what the third one is.
Yeah, well, you do by looking at the chart itself.
Oh.
But that's just how this grid is set up, is just between 2.
I see.
So you've got like the vertical line, and then you got the horizontal. So those 2 intersecting lines is how you read this graph. So, Jupiter is square and you go up the moon. Saturn square the moon. Uranus undile the moon, and so on. Or Pluto conjunct the sun. Wow, that's an intense one. Pluto, I should definitely read that one.
Yeah.
That's the power of, Pluto is power and evolutionary and death and rebirth and regeneration, and that's touching your sun, which is your personality. So like your personality is dying and being reborn over and over and over and over. And so it's like the aspect of the phoenix. And so you are intense to be around because you're always working through your issues because you're always being reborn. And so the people around you are like, whoa, you're intense. I just want to be set in my ways and stuck. But you challenge people to grow just by existing. And that's one of your aspects that makes you, a superhero. Is your Pluto conjunct the sun. So
I'm gonna go put that on my conjunct page.
Yeah, research that for sure. That's
Pluto conjunct sun, superhero.
I should read that one.
Go for it.
Sun conjunct Pluto. The desire for power, authority, and recognition from his contemporaries is deeply embedded in the individual. Whether this conjunction falls into positive signs such as Gemini, Leo, or Libra, or in receptive signs such as Cancer or Virgo, makes the difference in the person's approach. In positive signs, and the natural inclination is to reach attainment of the objective at any expense. The person rids himself of attitudes and habit patterns that they outgrow their usefulness. This attitude is sometimes extended to other people. In the receptive sign, which is you, Virgo, Pluto seems to hold sway, and rather than using the energy, the person is used by it. The basic solar ego drive for significance and the individual's outer world ambitions are likely to be constrained or steered by forces beyond one's conscious control. Whether as head of a large corporation or association, Sun conjunct Pluto in Leo, or head of a large family, Sun conjunct Pluto in Cancer, this individual quietly assesses his authority and is always in command. So if you think about the Sun in Virgo conjunct Pluto, that's using power for being of service.
So the third planet is Virgo?
No, it's saying your Sun sign.
Oh, my sun's sign, because it's Sun is Virgo. Got it.
So it says if your Sun was in Leo conjunct Pluto, you'd be like the head of a corporation or. But if your Sun in Cancer was conjunct Pluto, you'd be like the head of your family.
Family
But your
stuff.
Sun Virgo is conjunct Pluto, which is like the head of being a boss or having employees or being of service. Like it's the boss of whatever you make your domain in life. You're the boss of something. So what?
I've had chart work done before where they said you'd be better off being your own boss.
Yeah. So what are you the boss in? Meaning what do you naturally have an air of authority for? Like what is your authority that you embody is what it's asking you. Because you naturally embody authority because of that Sun conjunct Pluto, but where are you using that power, and where are you demanding respect in your authority? That's the question. All right, so moving on.
Thank you.
Let's see.
We were doing trines.
All right, so trine.
We got Earth and Neptune.
So if you think about Earth and Neptune, let's see where the third planet is. So you have Neptune here, 15 degrees in Scorpio.
Okay.
And then you have the Earth here, 15 degrees in Pisces. So then we look for the other 15 degrees in between there, and you got Mars Fortune, that's 14 degrees. Okay, so that's the angle they're referring to, is you got 15 degrees of Neptune that goes to 14 degrees of Mars Fortune, that goes to 15 degrees of the Earth.
I gotcha.
So the Mars Fortune in a chart, again, is your fortune. It's your lot in life. It's your luck. It's another luck point. So if your fortune is in 14 degrees of Cancer, you're lucky in house and home. You're lucky in family. You're lucky in how you comfort yourself. It's about how you nurture yourself. So it's a harmonious flow between Neptune energy, which is divinity, to the Earth, which is your earthly body, to Mars Fortune, which is Cancer, house and home. So you have this beautiful trine, harmonious flow of energy between those 3 points in your chart. So it indicates a natural gift or talent or something that's easy for you. Like, for example, people in general suck at self-love. It's just a fact. People don't know how to take care of their bodies. They don't know what they need. They are so used to giving themselves away by working too hard or self-sacrificing or whatever. But you know that part of your own divinity, Neptune, is about loving yourself and self-care. And so you could be considered a teacher for someone who easily gives themselves what they need because you naturally have that trine. And most people, including our friend, don't know how to give themselves love. They don't know how to love themselves and nurture themselves. And you do.
Mm-hmm.
That's one example how the trine can play itself out. What you do, you know, there's a bunch of aspects to research. So it'd be interesting to see what you come up with. So your homework from me, before I forget, is I want you to go through all of your aspects. And I want you to take notes.
Every single one of those?
Yes.
Do you really think I have time to do that? You're a crazy girl. Okay, go ahead.
Try your best. Because you're essentially researching yourself. And it's important,
right?
Because you're doing so much caretaking for others that it's important for you to to research yourself. And you can do this before you go to bed. You can look on your phone and look at and scroll and the aspects, and I'll have this typed up by today as a reference sheet for like what the definitions are. And anyway,
I wish I had a printer.
you need a printer.
Yeah, I don't have a printer, so like to print this out, because it'd be easier for me to pull up as opposed to trying to pull up a computer. But.
Yeah. My cat says hello.
Oh, hi. Mine was over here earlier.
What's your most loving cat in the whole world?
Yours is the most what?
Loving cat in the whole world.
Oh, I think we both have really loving kitties. Maybe because we're loving beings.
Yes.
So happy you have a loving kitty. You deserve all that love.
So do you. All right, get off my computer, cat.
Hi.
Okay. So let's go over the square aspect.
Okay.
The square is a 90-degree angle. And the simple definition is it creates restrictions and obstacles. Planets push each other to work hard to integrate. Okay. Let's look at some of your squares. You have Jupiter square the moon.
Jupiter square moon.
Yep. Saturn square the moon.
What else is squaring the moon?
Saturn squaring the moon.
Oh, really?
You got Jupiter square Saturn.
No, really?
Yep.
Ooh.
Maybe we should read that one. You got Chiron squaring Venus. Chiron, again, is the wounded healer. It's the soul's wound. So there's some wounding and love there.
No doubt.
What else is sticking out? I mean, it's pretty balanced in terms of aspects, but there's quite a bit of squares.
Yeah, I would say. There's a lot more squares than trines from what I'm seeing at a glance. Well, maybe not. It's hard to see with those little numbers.
I know. It's
like
not.
at a glance.
Yeah. Yeah, let's read the Jupiter square Saturn one. That one's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, Jupiter square Saturn. This is what Mark Jones calls a last chance lifetime.
Oh, no.
The individual has to learn to follow through and grow himself a soul. Has the power to do so, but often cops out and evades responsibilities. Will be defeated by life if talents and powers are not used. A physical muscle atrophies when not used. So do the spiritual muscles. Powers and talents, of which there are many, will atrophy as well. Later years will be years of regrets over unused opportunities. Judgment not good for inherent selfless stands in the way. Will have responsibilities where older people are concerned at some period of life. You're in there right now.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, it's saying use your spiritual gifts and powers you inherited from past lives, or you'll have a hell of a time next time, but you're already doing that.
I don't know if I'm doing it enough.
It's poking you to really see this, because Saturn's serious. Saturn's maturity, Saturn's authority. It's saying use your spiritual authority, use your spiritual muscles in this life. You must use your spiritual muscles in this life.
I like that. That's going to be my mantra. I need to use my spiritual muscles.
I have a crystal. I have a crystal right here.
Atrophy. I will atrophy.
Use it or lose.
Oh, next life I will be like all the rest of the muggles. That is my biggest fear, honest to God, that I have to come back and start over. And then I'm looking at these family members going, oh, gosh, I don't want to come into any of them.
No. So use it or lose it.
Yep. That'd be a good title for a book.
Oh yeah, what?
Use your spiritual muscles.
Use it or lose it.
Use it or lose it.
Come back and do it all.
Spiritual muscles will atrophy.
Meditate regularly, or your spiritual muscles will atrophy. Okay. So let's
do
go
your
over
yoga.
Sextile, which is a 60-degree angle.
Sextiles. See, our pictures are, excuse me, covering the things, so I can't see that. Sextiles are what is the
It's right here, the 60 degrees.
You say it's right there, but our pictures are covering it. Oh. I can't see it. Yeah, it's okay.
But you can move it on your phone. You can move this.
I'm not using a phone. I'm using, oh, I can. There we go. I didn't know I could do that. All right. Now I can see. All right. Okay, so there's the angle. Yeah. That makes sense, right? Sextile, because the 6.
Yep. All right, so the simple definition is planets, concepts, and ideas collaborate and work well together. easy flow of information.
So this would be if two planets were 60 degrees of each other on the
Yes.
chart,
Yes.
not
Wait.
6 planets having to line up like a square or a trine.
No. There are shapes that I want to cover also next time of the planets in the center. There's different shapes that manifest
That
themselves.
would make sense. Kind of like when you draw, when I was a kid, I had that, I forgot what it was called.
Compass?
No, it was a, game.
Yeah, the thing.
Yeah,
I know
you
what you're talking about.
draw. I
Yeah.
loved that. We spent hours doing it with the circles and.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what the center of this manifest. I just took off the lines.
No wonder. And we were creating mantras, and we didn't even know. Not mantras, but we were creating mandalas.
Yep.
We didn't even know we were creating mandalas.
Yep. So see in the center here, wait.
Yeah. So actually, if you were to draw lines through, you could make patterns, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Through the planets.
Yeah. So that's something we're going to cover next time is what manifests in the center, because some people have some pretty cool designs.
Ooh.
Sorry, I just stopped this for a second. My computer's being weird. Nope.
So you haven't gotten my gift yet?
No. I'm literally gonna check the mail after we're done. It might come today because it's Monday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let's look for sextiles. So this little blue thing,
Mm-hmm.
sextile. So you have Mars sextile Jupiter.
Okay.
So easy information between the planets. You have Neptune sextile the Sun. You have Pluto sextile the Moon. You have Neptune sextile Pluto.
Ooh.
And you have the south node of the Moon sextile Saturn. So the north and south node again is the dragon's head and the dragon's tail. Mm-hmm. So the north node is where you're headed. It's your evolutionary journey forward. And your south node is the past, like past lives, early childhood. So it's really awesome to research the north and south node aspects to see what happened in the past and what gifts you're carrying that help you towards the future. Let's see.
Do you find that most of your clients are really interested in learning about all this, or they just want you to give them the rundown?
No, I actually am lucky to manifest people that, because it's such an important tool now, because of this whole like shift in consciousness, like I'm lucky that people want to actually learn for themselves. There's a couple people that are like, I don't really understand and I don't really want to understand, but most of the people are very much like, I really want to learn the foundation because that's my goal, so I don't have to see people ever again. I'm like, I want to teach you so you know you have the tools and you don't have to come back and see me. Let's see, what should we read? Maybe the South Node sextile Saturn. That seems kind of interesting. Wonder what's
okay. And you're saying South Node. Yeah. And is those headphone looking things? The up and the down?
Sorry, what?
Are those the headphone things that are up and down? Are those the nodes?
Yeah, that's a good
Okay.
analogy. Yeah, the
They look
headphones
like
that are
headphones.
pointing, nice. The headphones that are pointing up,
Uh-huh. Like, yeah.
so yeah, the upside down have.
I'm wearing them, you see.
So you're wearing the north node.
Where they're pointing down.
Yeah. And the
Okay.
upside down one is the past, the south node. That's
It's
a
almost, or like a horseshoe. Kind of like a horseshoe as well.
I like the headphones. I'm going to use that. All right. So I'm looking at the
Phones on, phones off.
right. So Saturn, no, that's not right.
South node, sextile Saturn. I got to get those symbols straight. I know some of them. I don't have them out down yet. I know Neptune. I know Mercury, Mars, and Venus.
So sometimes, again, when you research some of these aspects, there's not a lot of information on them, which is cool because then you can interpret your own. And that's why it's important to meditate on the planet, meditate on the aspects. But if you think about a sextile, you think about easy flow of information between two planets. They easily communicate with each other. So if you think about the south node, it's not a planet, it's the moon's nodes. So it's like a hypothetical point in a chart. South node is the past. So the south node is something you've already learned from a previous incarnation or from early childhood. So it says here, it's a reward.
What about Saturn? Saturn is not expansion. Saturn, oh no, and it's Saturn. Is Saturn the platform?
Saturn is authority and structure and maturity and all things that have to do with structure and crystallization, like the skeletal. Yeah, so the skeletal structure is a structure. All structures are Saturn. So it says basically like a brief little sextile, south node sextile Saturn it's a reward that you learned from being patient in a previous life. So you learn something that has to do with patience that you carried over to this one, which helps you when dealing with sleepy people. So that's one way it could play itself out.
Oh, that helps.
I had to look at the definition.
When you did that, I could see it much better.
You see this now? Okay.
Oh no, you did it for a moment and it looked really big, and then I could see the symbols a little better.
Can you see this now?
Yeah, I can see your cursor.
But can you see the symbols and everything?
Oh yeah, I can still see them, but for a moment the whole screen was the aspect, and now I've got part aspects and part chart or part circle or field or whatever it is.
All right, so
that's all right.
It's the best I can do right now.
That's fine. Now it's real big again. It keeps moving. It's changing around.
Because I'm doing that.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to make sure you can see at least a little bit. All right, so
no, I could see fine. It just all of it. Now I can't see it at all, but that's right.
You can't?
Now we're looking at the upper right-hand corner.
So can you see the names of it though, and the angle?
I can see the names in the angle, yeah. Conjunction, opposition, trine, square, sextile.
Okay. All right, so now we're moving on to semi-squares.
Okay.
So this is a 45-degree angle. When you have less than 60 degrees in an angle, you're only allowed 1.5 degrees off. So when we had like a 180-degree angle, you're allowed 6 degrees apart, but this is only, you're allowed like 1.5 degree because it's such a small angle. It's such an exact angle. A semi-square is considered the 8th harmonic of the chart because
Can
of
you repeat that again? The what harmonic?
A semi-square 45 degrees is considered the 8th harmonic of the chart because it's 1/8 of a 360-degree circle.
Oh,
So the angles all work with sacred geometry and Platonic solids.
got it. Mm-hmm.
It is a hard aspect because it causes friction if the native's life and prompts them to take some action to reduce that friction. So now let's see how many squares you got.
Oh, what was the symbol for semi-square?
So it's this little, it looks like a Pac-Man symbol. It's this red thing. Can you see this?
Oh, that one, just the V on the side. Okay.
Yeah. So it's like a red Pac-Man thing.
Mm-hmm.
So you got the
I got one
descendant.
on my north node.
This is south node. And then, yeah, you have one north node.
I was going down, I went down lower.
So your ascendant is semi-square your north node.
Oh, my ascendant. Yeah, I was going down further.
And then, let's see. You have Venus semi-square the sun.
A Venus and the sun.
Yeah, Venus semi-square sun.
Okay.
You have Mars semi-square Vulcan. And you have Uranus semi-square Mars. Mars semi-square Uranus. I wonder if that's in the book. Some of these aspects aren't in the book because they're so exact.
Have you ever seen anybody's chart that had very few aspects?
No, I mean, because all the planets are on different angles. They're always going to have aspects. It depends on what aspects the person has. So because it starts with semi-square, we kind of get into the minor aspects. So there's not really minor aspects in this book. So this is when I have to use a reputable like reference, like someone who really knows their aspects from a blog or from the internet. But just as a reference, I want to look up Mars semi-square Uranus.
Well, what would be, but if you're, if you were going to go after a chart first, you're going to go after conjunctions, oppositions, the bigger aspects.
Yes. So
The
you're going to
bigger
go,
they are, the top to the bottom, right? Because that gives, it's kind of more powerful aspects, and then it's more detailed as you
yes.
go into the minor. Is that kind of more? So you've got these
You have,
powerful aspects.
you have major aspects, which are makes a major part of
your chart,
the
your
angles,
progress.
and then the minor are just more detailed, but they're not as talked about because they're so detailed sometimes that people don't want to misinterpret them, or people just don't have an interest in certain ones, so there's not a lot of information about them, which is why it's so important to me, because it leaves it open for interpretation. Let's see. Okay, so Mars semi-square Uranus from this website that I use says, you may feel a strain when it comes to asserting yourself on the basis of your conscious feelings. For your preconceived ideas sometimes get in the way, which has the result that you resist committing yourself too closely, possibly because you like to conserve your right to your freedom. That's all it says. Because Uranus has to do with freedom and individuality.
Oh, it does. And wouldn't that also be Sagittarius?
Uranus, the planet, works with Aquarius.
Oh, so you really dig freedom too. Aquarians like freedom, but I thought Sagittarius did too.
Well, that's why Sag and Aquarius are really harmonious energy, because Sagittarius is Jupiter. Jupiter is freedom, expansion, philosophy, higher knowledge. Right. So yeah, those two planets, Uranus and Jupiter, love each other. Aquarius and Sagittarius get along very well. So anyway, the Mars semi-square Uranus in your chart is, you may want to assert yourself with something and fully commit, because Mars is about assertion and it's fire and it's initiation, it's go, go, go. But your Uranus wants to make sure you have freedom first before it commits to anything. Like freedom is actually really important to you.
It is. It's so important to me. Really important.
So Mars is that inner warrior. It's like, it speaks for your masculine energy within yourself. So the divine masculine within yourself demands freedom, is what it's saying. So you may feel restricted at times, and that's when you get angry, because your Mars is like, got all this energy, and your Uranus planet is like, yeah, but we need freedom. So if you don't feel like you're free, then it creates tension within yourself, is what that aspect is saying.
So with these aspects, then they're part of your makeup, your program. How do you get over them? I mean, how do you?
So there is no getting over it. It's there a certain angle for you to learn. Like squares are challenges. Semi-square is also a challenge. So how you learn is feeling that inner conflict within yourself and noticing, now that you have this aspect of, you need freedom, you know now not to put yourself in situations where you feel boxed in. Because that inner conflict, that inner tension can manifest itself as anger, because Mars is anger. So you could use that fire of the masculine, that's Mars. You can use the fire to get pissed off at people where you feel boxed in. You can easily fight them. You can easily say mean things, but to learn from it, you you feel that emotion and you channel it, and you now know not to ever put yourself in situations where you're boxed in. So things like that, like when you were younger, you may not have known how to handle that energy. So you may have just suppressed that anger, or you may have put yourself in situations and just dealt with it. But now that you're older, you know yourself better, and you know you would never do that to yourself, put yourself in a cage.
No, I'm kind of in one now, but
I was going to say, at least
I'm doing it, I'm choosing it. I'm not, it's different, you know.
But you're doing it consciously because you're doing it for service, because it's part of the other aspects of your chart that say you're going to work with older people. You're going to have to deal with your parents. You signed up for this. So
And I did. I knew that.
Yeah, so you're consciously aware of those aspects. So you know the difference.
Oh, those downloads came a long time ago.
Yep. So you know that.
Yeah, and that makes sense, because right now it's a challenge I'm dealing with, because I don't mind doing the service, but I don't like being, you know, when they start pushing me, like this weekend when I went to Milwaukee, it was like, I blew up. I got really angry. I'm like, I'm out of here. Told my brother, you quit your job and you move in, because even though I'm serving, I'm getting criticized. And I'm being told what to do, when to do it, how to do it. And it's like, you know what? I'll do the serving. Don't tell me how to do that, you know, because I don't mind serving, but I don't like being told what to do or boxed in.
Yep.
Makes sense.
Yep. So those are both those.
Does?
Well, nobody, but with those aspects of Mars and Uranus, Mars is like the warrior. Don't tell me what to do or I'll fight you. And then Uranus is, I demand freedom or I'm out of here. So those two planets are working together for you to create a challenge. It manifests as a challenge for you to get through. So you're literally in that manifestation of that semi-square right now, if you think about it. So it's asking you, okay, Mika, how do you handle the conflict within yourself? Do you explode and yell at other people, or do you channel it in other ways? Like some people use this energy to do martial arts. Some people use this energy to create. You know, it's all about how you use that energy is the challenge of this aspect. Okay, make sense?
Yep.
All right, let's move on to semi-sextile, which looks like that. It looks like an upside down K.
Oh, yeah. Or somebody kicking their legs up in the air.
Like one arm and one leg in the air.
Yeah,
it's a yoga pose with one arm and one leg. Okay, so semi-sextile is a 30-degree angle.
Okay.
So again, an orb of 1.5 degrees is only allowed because it's such a small angle. Meaning that's how you measure it. We can't call it a semi-sextile unless it's 30 degrees to 31.5 degrees. Otherwise, it's not a semi-sextile. Okay, so it indicates mental interaction between the planets involved that is more sensed than experienced externally. So read that again. It indicates mental interaction between the planets involved that is more sensed than experienced externally.
Okay.
So if you think about what a sextile is, it's that easy flow of information. A semi-sextile is also easy flow of information, but it's more sensed than actually seen in the external world. So cute kitty.
I think our kitties would make really cute kitties.
Yeah.
Your kitty looks like my kitty.
Oh. Okay, so let's look for a semi-sextile in here, huh?
You're going down, Bob. I see one.
Where?
I see
There's
a couple of them, but they're lower down. There's with the south node. I saw one real quick.
well, the other one is the quincunx. So it's a backwards K, quincunx. So I saw a couple of those, but I didn't see semi-sextile.
I saw semi-sextile, but a couple of them, but they were in. There's one in. It looks kind of like it's got an arrow, but it's on the left-hand side, but that's lower down. Oh no, that's sex. No, yeah. Here's one in the one that looks like the guy holding the arms up and the legs down.
Yeah, where?
Did you?
Oh, there's one right there.
Yeah, there's one there, but I forget. I don't remember what this is called. But to me, it looks like a guy standing with his arms up.
Yeah.
It's that one. And that
yeah, you have
conjuncting. I can't see the top of the chart.
So you have
Oh, there's one too.
you have your ascendant semi-sextile Uranus. So these are some, because they're so exact, these are some of the things that you need to research on your own. I'm just pointing out what the symbols look like. But if you were to think about your ascendant is your rising sign, it's what you're rising to become. It's where the sun rises in the east in your chart. So if you have your ascendant semi-sextile Uranus, it's an easy flow of information between your rising sign and the planet of genius and the awakener. So your ascendant and Uranus are communicating with each other easily. And you feel this energy more than you see it in the outside world. All right, so let's move on to the other ones. We got quincunx, which is the reverse of the guy kicking his legs in the air. And it's 150-degree angle. So a quincunx is also called an inconjunct. When you watch astrology videos, most of the time they're going to say the word inconjunct. But a quincunx is the same thing. And again, it's a 150-degree angle, and the simple definition is the two planets involved have nothing in common. The two planets are a different element. It's difficult for the planets to communicate with each other. So a couple examples of this. In your chart, you have 3 of them in the south node. So you have south node in conjunct Venus, south node in conjunct Mars, and south node in conjunct Jupiter.
Oh, all 3 in a row, huh?
Yeah, so those planets from the past, in a past life, did not really communicate with something. Like you didn't learn those 3 things. So in this life, you're learning it.
Yeah, those are the only 3 because they're green.
Yep. There's
The
one
color
right here.
helps. Oh yeah, there's another one.
There's Saturn in conjunct Venus. So those Saturn and Venus do not communicate with each other in your chart. So you love wholeheartedly without any restrictions, and Saturn can't restrict your love. They don't communicate. All right, my speaker's dying. Give me 2 seconds.
Okay.
Okay. All right, let's go on to the next one. We got quintile is a Q, just a big Q, and it's blue, and it's a 72-degree angle.
72 degrees?
Yes.
That's odd, because quint is, again, relating to 5. So why would 72? That's an odd, like quintuplets or...
Yeah.
So for it to be 72 degrees, kind of weird. Right?
Yeah.
To call it quintile.
Okay, so it's called a quintile, and then the one under it with the 2, it's like Q squared, is biquintile,
Mm-hmm.
and it's 144 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
So both of those
That's
aspects,
double.
huh?
Oh, it's just double. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Yep. So 144 is dividing the circle, and it says it relates to a talent or the desire to create. It's order and categorization perfectionist is what it says. So if you have that aspect in your chart, it points to a talent or the desire to create, or where you order and perfect something in your life. That goes for both of those quintiles or biquintiles. Let's see if you have any of those. Yep. You have a few. They're light blue, so you got.
Oh, I do. Yeah, I can see the color.
Yep, you got
quite a few.
Yep.
Quite a few.
So you have
biquintiles.
Venus quintile the moon.
Oh.
You have Saturn biquintile Saturn biquintile Mars. You have Neptune quintile Mercury. You have the North Node quintile Vulcan. And you have the North Node quintile Uranus. You have Ascendant biquintile the Earth. So if you think about those aspects, there's a gift and talent there from a previous life, or there's a desire to create or perfect those two intersecting points. So, for example, Venus quintile the moon, that could be someone who has a gift and talent for expressing their emotions. It could be the desire to create from your emotions. It could be the desire to perfect your emotions or perfect how you love. All right. So now we go into the D symbols. There's a decile. So decile, and then it says D3 is this is a complicated one. Sesquintile. There's something down here called the undecile that has to do with the decile. And then it's biundecile, triundecile, quadundecile.
Wow, yeah.
Quaundecile, all these random angles. I don't have all the definitions for all of them because they're so specific, but these are the important, like all of these really complicated ones are really important to research because these have to do with like past life talents. You got septile. So then you got septile, biseptile, triseptile. Okay, so let's talk about, go back to decile. It's a 36-degree angle. It's called the 10th harmonic when two energies are 36 degrees apart. It gives off a Saturn 10th house energy with decile aspects. It's just a big blue D. So the undecile is a 32 to 33 degree aspect. It means the sun is in beam. That's all it says. The sun beams at that angle. And then it's got a little definition of deciles in general. So the decile is quite similar in the sense that it captivates the energy of a planet and house, Saturn in the 10th house. It shows restriction and growth, abilities to be developed over time with patience and persistence. We can see.
Can you repeat that again?
Yeah.
Restriction and growth.
Restriction and growth, abilities to be developed over time with patience and persistence. We can see hard work can pay off if it is done. An unperfected skill that has the potential of being perfected. Deciles show learning a skill with purpose. All right, so let's look at the deciles. All the ones with D, it's like either D or D3.
Are those light blue as well?
Yes. So you got a D3 here.
I see that one.
You got Pluto, decile Jupiter. So again, there's something to do with spirit because Jupiter is connected with spirit and expansion, philosophy. Pluto is evolutionary journey. So there's something really important that you're learning about your spiritual quest in this life. You have Neptune, decile Mars. So Neptune's also Christ consciousness or divinity, spirit. With Mars, Mars is the inner warrior and it's masculine. So you're learning how to perfect that. You have the south node of the moon, decile Uranus. South node is the past. Uranus is the awakener. It's also considered the future. You have Black Moon Lilith is decile Vulcan. Black Moon Lilith is your core fear. And I think that's about it for the deciles.
Okay.
So let's look at undecile, which is gray. And undecile is 32 to 33 degree angle. And this is the definition I wrote. The undecile is occurring when two celestial bodies appear to be both positioned in 11th of the way around the zodiac wheel.
In what around the zodiac wheel?
The 11th.
In the 11?
The 11th.
Oh.
This particular aspect formation in astrological charts measures a planetary distance to 32 to 33 degrees associated with the 11th house, the 11th star sign of Aquarius. They're indicators of heightened psychic intuition or scientifically minded ability, especially when appearing in the house 3, 9, 10, or 11. We'll look at that. It's concerning education, career choice, social status, adaptability, environment, and emotions can be very revealing, is what that aspect says. So, undecile. So yeah, you have Saturn undile. What's the fifth one? Undile to the fifth is like, what do you call it? Quin Q undecile is U to the fifth.
Kinke.
Yes. So Saturn undile to the fifth power and Sun. Saturn and the Sun. Let's look at the Sun. It's in your second house. And Saturn. Seventh house. So the second and seventh house. So to kind of recap, all the undecile, all the U's indicate psychic ability, scientifically minded information. It takes on the 11th house kind of energy, which is Aquarius type energy. So genius, future thinking. So when you put you actually got quite a few of them. You have like Uranus, Undile, the moon. You have quite a bit of like some genius stuff going on there. Some future thinking.
Must be that Aquarian energy.
Mhm. Yeah, you actually have a lot of U's.
A lot of U's.
A lot of U's.
That's funny because when I moved to Milwaukee, I don't know about where you grew up, but we had grades, and then they, you have A, B, C, D, F, right?
Yeah.
Fail.
Yeah.
They didn't use F because they felt that was negative. They used a U for like unsatisfactory.
Well, in this case,
laughed because it's like, what's the difference?
Well, in this
that's what I'm
case,
laughing
U's are
because
good.
just you means U's are good. It means you're psychic. But
Yep.
I just laugh because, I got lots of U's because when I was teaching, if you have lots of U's, you're failing a lot of subjects because they didn't use F. Couldn't use an F.
Well, if you think about it, you're failing a lot of subjects that don't even matter because the school system, the structure of it is bullshit anyway. So U's are good.
There you are. That's true. They especially if you allowed yourself to get them. You know.
Yeah.
Because some people, that takes courage.
Yeah.
We all learn from our mistakes, I guess.
All right, so let's now go into the pink ones, which are the septiles.
Okay.
Septile, biseptile, and triseptile. All right, septile is a 51-degree angle. It's called Forks in the Road of Destiny.
Forks in the Road of Destiny.
This angle often is highly inventive, especially if an outer planet is involved in the pattern. If they have quintiles running off of one of the planets involved in the S pattern, they can be highly creative or destructive with their knowledge or skill. It's dividing 360 degrees by 7, so it makes up a 7-pointed star. They're wisdom-seeking aspects. A vibration of 7. Then it says biseptile is 102 degrees, or S2, S squared. Or triseptile is 154 degrees, or S3, known as the triseptile. Triseptile, my bad. Triseptile. All right, so that's about it. Let's look at to see if you got any pink S's, and you do.
Okay.
There's actually quite a few of them.
Quite a few S's. Forks
in the road, or gifts that can be immensely creative or destructive. You got Jupiter, septile, Vulcan. Vulcan, again, is the blacksmith of the zodiac, working with your hands. You got Chiron, septile, the moon. You got the North Node, biseptile, Earth. You have the North Node of the moon, biseptile, Chiron. You have the South Node of the moon, biseptile, Pluto. You have ascendant, triseptile, Vesta, which is a asteroid.
Vesta is an asteroid?
Vesta?
Vesta? I thought that was a goddess, a fire goddess.
It is.
Oh, okay.
She's an asteroid. So it works.
She's an asteroid.
Yeah,
Cool.
so that's one of the classes I want to teach you is all about the asteroids, because that's how you plug in the charts. So there's like 10,000 asteroids that you can put in your chart. And they're kind of like spirit guides or helpers. And it's cool because you can use all of like the Arthurian legends in there, like Merlin and
Really?
Morgan Le Fay and all these. So there's all these asteroids that are like helpers or spirit guides.
Wow.
So the asteroids are a lot of fun depending on what's going on in your life or what mythology or archetype you're into. There used to be an asteroid called Xena, and they switched it to Eris, and I was pissed because I love Xena.
Oh, wow. They just changed the name from
Yeah.
Xena to Eris?
Yeah, now
Why did
Eris
they do it?
Eris is the goddess of discord. So now Xena doesn't exist.
Wow, but Xena, I mean, that's another goddess singer. Ooh.
Yeah, apparently she doesn't exist anymore, but there's so many goddesses, there's so many gods, there's so many archetypes in astrology, period. I mean, all of the Greek mythology, all of the mythology is in astrology. It's all archetypal. It's amazing how much information is in astrology.
There is. This is just the tip of the iceberg. But this is where I look at, if we were to do a homework, it'd be like, don't give me every single one of these aspects. Just say, okay, look up your septiles.
All right,
and
well,
figure out what those are. Because I can't
Well,
handle every single one of those. I can see doing one, and the septiles have 3 different kinds.
All right, well,
One thing I wanted to point out before we close off.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, have you studied any Ayurveda?
No.
Oh, well, the reason being is, can you pull up the chart a little bit where it shows the percentage of earth, water, air in my chart, the elements?
Yep.
So I had this, Dave studied Ayurveda, and then, you get, it's Eastern. And I just kind of looked at people because the basic things with Ayurveda, you can tell by a lot of times looking at what people look like and their ways. Like, for example, if they're like round-faced couch potatoes, like they're, or they've like
Pitta or Vata or
yes, Pitta, Vata, and Kapha. Yep. Right.
Yep.
And so my thing was, I bet you I've never seen a correlation, but I really feel that, like, I'm Pitta Vata, I'm Pitta Kapha, and I have the most fire and earth in my chart. And then of course water and air are combined for Kapha, but air is more, like Dave is very Vata, and airheady, and they're thinner. I look at them being more like fairies and, like the elfin people.
Well, that's a really awesome.
I was wondering, I bet you the chart, if you could do a person's chart, that you could tell whether they're Vata, Pitta, like by their chart.
Well, this is a good segue into your next class. Is we're going to focus on the elements of astrology, because from there,
I know about the element parts. Go ahead.
You can determine, like you said, it definitely correlates with everything. It's all a reflection. It correlates to Vedic astrology. It correlates to what primary element you just naturally embody. And we figure that out based off of a graph system that I want you to learn how to do. That's not just cheating and looking down here and be like, oh, I'm fire dominant, earth dominant. I want you to actually figure out how that happens. How does that manifest? Why am I fire? So we're literally.
But isn't it based on how many? Like, I know basically Aries. I know what the elements are of the signs. That part I do know already. Which are the water signs, which are the air, which are the fire, etc.
Yeah.
And wouldn't it be like how much you have in your chart? No?
But it also works with the house system, like what planet is in what house. And I think by doing this practice, it helps you understand the planets and their energies better, and it helps you understand the houses better. And it's
Right.
actually
Yeah, I
a fun.
haven't gotten the houses down yet.
So it's a fun exercise.
Okay, I like fun.
But
I need more fun.
I wish that you had a printer though, because part of this would be printing it out.
And you don't have a printer?
I do.
Could you print this out and send it to me, snail mail?
Yeah.
Thank you. That would help a lot because I don't have a printer.
Do you want all of your chart and your full natal chart report, all that?
Whatever you could give me would be great, but especially this page you keep giving me, the one we're referencing right now, it would be, you know, even if I were to have it with me when we're having our conversation so I could see it really well. I mean, you're doing a good job of showing it, and I love having it displayed because, you know, the repetition is obviously the way we are jarred in our memory to remember, not to learn, to remember. I already know this stuff.
So
I just have to bring it back.
Yeah, just give me a couple days.
Oh yeah, no rush. And whenever it works, because I know if you could, and you know, I know there'd be a lot of printing ink and stuff, but if you could do that for me, I'd really appreciate it.
That's no problem.
And then whatever you type up.
Okay. Okay. So let's finish the aspects for today.
Okay.
Let's see. How about for your homework, you pick 3 aspects to study.
Okay.
Or even just the primary ones, like conjunction, opposition, trine, square, and sextile. Maybe those 5 for now.
Yeah.
Like because they're major, and so they're important. So maybe just study those 5 in your own chart.
Study first 5.
The major aspects.
Help if I don't have the chart. So I know you emailed me stuff. Okay, hold on. First 5 would be conjunction,
opposition, trine, square, and sextile.
Now maybe what we might do is I might do my homework once you send it to me, which might be a while, but that's okay because I've got other stuff on my plate at the moment.
You also have this in an email. I sent you all of your charts there. So you could start your homework today.
I gotta find that email though. Yeah, okay. I could start my homework today. Thank you.
Or I could just resend this chart. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, do that again if you would.
But I think you should, the more you're on it, the more it clicks instead of just waiting.
Yeah. Right. No, send it again. That'd be fine.
Cool.
Send it. If you can email it to me again, then I'll have it fresh up. I'm sure. I mean, that was a long time ago, and unfortunately, I'm not the best with deleting emails. I keep them, and it's like, and then I try to delete, but I'm going to get back to that.
Maybe you can make it an astrology folder in your email, and just anytime I send you anything,
that's what I'll do.
Because
I think I already did that, actually. I'll look for it. Okay.
Yeah, just put astrology and that's it, and then it'll be easy to find.
Yep, because it starts with an A.
Yeah. Okay. So let's finish with see if there's anything left in my notes. Otherwise, I think that's it for today. But we have the noviles, which are the ends. They're the gray ends. So I think that's the last of the things that I have notes on. Like I said, I'm going to type this all up today.
Okay.
So novile is a 40-degree angle. Novile works with the vibration of the 9-pointed star. We have noviles, binoviles, trinoviles, quadnoviles, quinnoviles, synnoviles, septnoviles, octonoviles.
But they're not listing those.
No.
But it keeps going on.
Yeah, it's just what I've done research on in the past, and the octonoviles is 320 degrees. But on this one, it says, I mean, the most they use is a quadnovile, which is 160-degree angle. But regardless, all of the vibration of novials works with the 9.
Oh, makes sense. Yeah, I know that.
So the definition I wrote about that was novials describe an initiation. And in a natal chart describes the initiations to be undertaken in this lifetime. The level of intensity is described by the planets and signs involved in the novile aspect or pattern. Example, if a person has moon novile Pluto, then the level of emotional intensity will be very high. If novile aspects are connected in a novile pattern, it suggests that this lifetime is part of a series of initiations that to some degree or another have been successful.
Okay.
Let's look at noviles. I don't see them too often, but I see a couple here. You got
in the gray.
Yeah, you got Mars novile Mercury. You got Uranus novile Venus. You have Vesta novile Jupiter. You have the MC or midhaven line novile Chiron. So your career and your soul wound go hand in hand. That's an initiation of some sort. You have Black Moon Lilith novile Earth. And then you have, it's something called White Moon Lilith, or Selene is the moon goddess. It looks like Black Moon Lilith, only reversed. And you have her novile, your midhaven, which is your career. So you have Selene, the white moon goddess, lighting your path towards your career. Midhaven is career line. So there's an initiation with career. So the really important noviles I've seen have to do with your career. Because you have midhaven, MC, the midhaven career line, novile Chiron. That really sticks out. You should star that. And then the white moon Selene is novile your midhaven also, which is your career line. So you have two initiating points that point to the same career line. So it's basically, in this life, a lot of your initiation is through your career. Vesta novile Jupiter. Jupiter is spirit and philosophy and expansion. Vesta is the fire goddess, right? So what lights your fire is your philosophy and your spiritual seeking. Cool.
And it does.
Nice.
Yeah, very cool.
Let's see. I'm going to stop sharing the screen for a second, and then I'm going to pull up one last thing. Okay. Are you watching TV back there?
No, but my parents are. Can you hear it?
Yeah, it's pretty loud.
It's super loud. But that's why I thought that if I had you on headphones, you wouldn't hear that. But you do?
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
No,
You
you're
can
good.
only imagine how loud it is for me.
I was gonna say, you poor dear.
Yeah, both of my parents need hearing aids. No, well, it's worse when it's football right now. It's like blue bloods.
Anywho.
But both my parents can't hear any.
Yeah.
They need hearing aids and they don't.
Bless your heart and your past life patience you have. This little PDF is called The Geometry of the Zodiac. It's a really good PDF about explaining all about the angles. The tropical zodiac is what we're using, is Western tropical. It explains the different angles, the different patterns of the planets, of what we're explaining, like septiles and stuff like that. We got like a dodecahedron patterns. This is the different, like, winter part of your chart is the south. We have the ascendant, which is the east. The sun rises in the east on this part of your chart. The summer is the north. And then autumn is the west, the descendant part of your chart. So it works with the 4 seasons also. So if someone has all of their planets in the east, or someone has all their planets in the winter part of their chart, it says a lot about them also. So the geometry itself is really, really important to understand about. I mean, that's the math part of astrology. So Aries always rules this part of the chart, the east. Cancer is always the foundation of the chart. Libra is always the relationship part of the chart, and Capricorn is the career part of the chart. It's even got, the definitions for them. Latin for Aries is ram, the first sign of the zodiac. The sun enters the vernal equinox about March 21st. Constellation of the ram represents the golden fleece, and so on. And then we got, it says about the fixed signs of the zodiac, all the fixed points: Aquarius, Scorpio, Leo, Taurus. Pisces is the mutable signs. Pisces, you're a mutable sign. Virgo, Sagittarius, Pisces, Gemini are all mutable, and explains more about that. The zodiac and the human body, because we get into medical astrology. Like
I know a bit about that.
Virgo rules the stomach and the circulatory system. Mercury rules the circulatory system. The cross of the 4 elements.
It's so amazing how it's so perfect. Everything is just, and all of the carryover. Beautiful.
Yeah, it's,
within all of the teachings of all of the different things. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a fun little PDF I wanted to send you. The trine of fire, like
Thank you. That looks really.
It's pretty in-depth and helpful. The trine of fire, like we talked about the grand trines. If you have a grand trine of fire, you represent this. If you have a grand trine in water, you can have a grand trine in. So there's a. It's endless.
Yeah. Wow.
the 4 elements. Complementary and opposite signs. We talked about the axes, the axis point. Aries, Libra is the axis of relationship. Taurus and Scorpio is the axis of security and resources. Gemini is learning and teaching. Cancer is mother, father, house and career. Leo, Aquarius is creativity. Virgo, Pisces axis is the axis of service. Talks about that. Anyway, you get the point. So yeah, I'm going to send you a few things right now through your email. One of them is called beautifulcharts.com, and it explains if you have any grand trines, any kind of certain patterns in the center of your chart. So it's another way of researching your chart to see if you have any, like it's called a yod, or you have like the septile pattern, or you have a pentagram in there, or just a grand trine. So it's something fun to research for the next week. So you got a few things I'll send you. Yeah. Do you have any questions, or is that good for now?
Yeah, saturation. I'm there. Oh, but yeah. Thank you.
All right, so I'm going to stop the recording until next